Welcome to Star Dragon, a game of space combat where you build the ship of your dreams and then have it blown to smithereens by your friends. Or maybe you're blowing theirs up. You choose from an interesting array of possible ship designs. You can see here we've got the dodgy sniper. Beside it, bombs away focusing on torpedoes. Or you could be the Fox 3 missile-based ship or brawler. It doesn't really matter. There's lots of different designs there, or you can even have your own. And it's all about what mix of weapons and systems and engines you operate with. Here, you can see the Jorkar player has gone for the dodgy sniper. And that's built around this quite high capability weapon, the sharpshooter. It rolls a lot of dice. It's very accurate. It does quite a bit of damage. But the player's also got lots of engines there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 engines, including a pretty handy combat thruster that will help them maneuver and stay out of danger. But you can of course design what you want. One of the big questions you've got to answer is which special module will you have. So here the Jorkar player gets to choose between the Mantis drone and some special forces. And you'll see that they've gone for the special forces, so they're going to plan to drop the shields of their opponents and then be within range. This particular module needs to be within 8 range or less to then teleport special forces over who are going to destroy enemy ships from within. When you do attack, you roll dice, and it's very straightforward. Each weapon will tell you how many dice you roll. So say it's 3, you roll blue dice to attack, and each target icon will show you how many attack dice have been successful. So there you've got 2 icons. And then typically you defend with 1 white dice, and there might be some other that can help you as well. Usually you use thrust from your engines. And if you had these 3 to roll, you will see that the defender has rolled 1 dice versus the 2 attack dice. And that would be a successful attack by the attacker. If you win by 1 target lock, which is what's happened here, then you graze the enemy, so you do 50% of what your weapon would normally do in terms of damage. If you get 2 target locks, better than a defender, you do normal damage, and then if you do 3 or more, you get a critical hit, and that's when you roll a critical hit dice, and that has all kinds of additional things it will do to an opponent. In terms of round order, that's on one of your special sheets that you get when you start the game. The little booklet that tells you what special modules you can choose also gives you your gameplay order and also gives you advice on what will give you victory points. And although there's a bit of information there, it's actually not too complicated. Mostly what will give you victory points is doing damage to other ships. On the back of that sheet, and here we'll look at the Shrewds sheet. You can see that they get to choose between gunnery, dominance, and quantum analysis. But on the back of the sheet, and this is what everybody has, you'll see your maneuvering ability. Now, you can play a simple version where maneuvering is very, very straightforward, or you can play with the advanced maneuvering capabilities, and that's when you can pull all kinds of interesting maneuvers. So for instance, a barrel roll or a power loop that might have had you in front of an enemy will now put you behind them, so you can line up a really great shot. There's all kinds of random things that can happen throughout the space combat. So for instance, these chaos cards represent the fact that the wormhole gate itself, each round will bring something that you haven't prepared for to the battle environment. In this case, it's a solar flare. Each player will also move one of the plasma storms each round. The plasma storms can't be fired through or moved through without it being inflicted damage, and you move those to make it difficult for your opponents to maneuver and easier for you to maneuver. You also have random encounters with NPCs. So as if it wasn't bad enough fighting other players, if you move to a scan anomaly, and this is one here because it's got the scan anomaly icon in it. Let's put the ship here. This is the Elevar, and they've just moved on to a scan anomaly. You would then check the level of scan anomaly, and that's a level 3 scan anomaly, and you would choose a level 3 scan anomaly card, turn it over, and in this case it is a Corvette. That's a pretty tough customer. And at the bottom it tells you where, or what rather, modules is made up from. 2 weapons, 1 system and 2 engines, and you would build that on your NPC mat, and each player has one of these where they can actually build the NPC that another player to the left of them would be fighting. You put the dice on your ship to represent its tactical ability. So if you have an ability to dodge incoming weapons, then the yellow dice to help you do that would actually go on your ship. And you also use these markers to help you keep track of your shields, your armor, your thrust in your engines, and your power. So you can see at the moment this ship has 10 power, 10 shields, 10 armor, and 4 thrust. The winner of Star Dragon is simply the player who has the most victory points at the end of the game. And you get victory points for doing damage to other players, but also 1 or 2 other things as well. Victory points are tracked on the outside of the board. So if you had 24 victory points, you'd be around about there. And they can rack up quite quickly, so you want to make sure that no one gets too far ahead. And there may be temporary alliances during the game, so that the enemy of my enemy is my friend is one of the dynamics that's going on. So that's pretty much Star Dragon in a nutshell. You have to build your ship, choosing what modules to go in it, find your style of play, work out how other people are going to play too, and then start maneuvering, maybe taking on NPCs so that you can add their modules to your ship and make it more powerful. That's a big part of the game, is advancing the quality of your ship as the game goes on, and rack up those victory points so that by the end of the game, you're the one who's standing on top and is now declared the Star Dragon. Have fun.